We're back for another episode, and guess who's back? Wyatt's back. Wyatt, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Same old thing. Enjoying some college basketball. We're really kicking off into it. And trying to find some bets. And happy to be here once again. Really enjoyed the last episode, so I couldn't hold myself back from hopping back on.
Awesome, man. Ethan, you got to be feeling good too, man. You went 3-0.
Yeah, I feel good. Monday, maybe not so good, but I had a kick-ass week last week. Really, all February was great for me. January was great, and now I'm kind of hitting my wall and my fall off. So, not a great last 3 or 4 days for me whatsoever. So I'm hoping best bets tonight can kind of get that turned around and get me back into some green here.
It's been a great year so far for the green team overall because, again, we had another winning week. The last week we won you guys $147. It's like every time we place a bet in Vegas, they're just like,
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
But, man, we've just been killing it lately. And now that we got Wyatt, man, I feel like between us three and Zach, hopefully he'll be on the next one, man, we're printing money over here. I love it, boys.
It's been a great year. And this is the best time of year for sports. So, yeah, I think let's continue it. Let's make another week out of it.
What do you guys think about the Lamar Jackson and all the franchise tags that have been happening?
Yeah, I'll speak on Lamar. Obviously, a couple franchise tags out there. Josh Jacobs, I saw. Daniel Jones got paid, and I believe Saquon got the tag there. A couple others, but the interesting thing to me about Lamar Jackson is the teams that said they just flat out aren't going for him. Atlanta was on that list, who I know he's kind of been tied to Atlanta throughout this whole debacle. Once again, you're seeing Lions fans on Twitter like, Lamar? I mean, we could trade Goff and maybe a couple picks and have Lamar. Not for me. I'm not a huge Lamar guy. I've talked about this in the past, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I, at this point, don't see him playing elsewhere other than Baltimore next year. That's just my opinion on it. I know it's the non-exclusive tag, so teams can offer and match and all that business side of it. But yeah, to me, it's I don't know if he's going to draw too much interest at the price that Baltimore wants for him.
Yeah, I like Lamar. There's nothing wrong with him, but last 2 seasons kind of struggled, especially with injuries last year. I mean, it's really tough to pick up a running quarterback who barely played 50% of the game. So he kind of put himself in a bad situation. I do kind of feel bad for him sometimes because when he is healthy, when he's at his best, he is unstoppable and very scary. If you have the ability to scramble like he does, you can be a really crappy passer and still find some wide open wide receivers. So I think he has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, Ethan, I think you're right. I don't think he's going to play anywhere else next year besides Baltimore. I don't know if anyone is willing to just throw up this amount of money on a quarterback who really hasn't proven it, especially last year, of if he can stay healthy or not. So I think he's going to ultimately be at Baltimore or probably be unhappy. Hopefully he can go a whole season injury free and then, come back to this, decision next year. But unfortunate for Lamar. I know he was probably expecting a big old tag by someone, but maybe it'll happen. But I could see him just staying in Baltimore.
I agree with you guys 100%. I think at this point it's kind of Baltimore or bust right now for him. If you look at some of the quarterbacks that were great and then they retired, we're looking at let's say Dan Marino. How long did it take the Dolphins to find their next quarterback? And the Ravens, they went from Flacco and they just kind of fell into Lamar Jackson. So this might actually be working out more in the Ravens' favor than Lamar Jackson's. I don't know if we're even having this type of conversation if the Browns don't mess everything up with Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Yeah. It's always a big question mark to me when there's a bunch of teams that come out and say, like, we're not interested whatsoever. I don't know. To me, it's like, what have you seen in Lamar? Is his health horrible, right? Like, is he not recovering whatsoever? Or to me, I think I've mentioned before, I just don't see him as the guy that can take a team to the Super Bowl at this stage. Earlier, I believed he could. Now, it's tough for me to see. We've talked about the running mentality, and it's tough to maintain throughout a career. Small in stature type of guy too. So like Wyatt said, injury prone, and Yeah, it just kind of makes you wonder what some of these teams like Atlanta, who it seems that he would be a perfect fit for Atlanta. Like, what are they seeing that made them just say, like, we are not even going to discuss this? So, red flag.
Before we go into our big three, I just want to get you guys' quick takes. Travis Kelce just hosted SNL. I think he's the 4th NFL player to host SNL. What do you guys think? Is Travis Kelce, is he genuinely funny or is he athlete funny?
Coming off of his, I didn't watch it personally. I didn't watch the SNL thing. So I'm taking all this experience from his post-game interviews and his tweets and whatnot. But kind of comes across as, and I know he was quoting WWE during these post views, but it kind of comes off as like the, the Showtime WWE almost scripted / faked comedy. And I know, SNL definitely has a script and whatnot, but there's a lot of freestyling going on there. So I probably should pull up the video and to actually see what he is. But personally, without watching the SNL, I think he's just athlete funny, kind of coming off as that stage, character kind of guy. He's probably still a generally funny guy in general, but I think it's just coming across as the athlete. He's on the stage, he's on the platform, he's doing the WWE stuff. So I need to definitely watch the clip and get a second opinion on it. But that's my thought without watching the SNL.
Yeah, I caught the his monologue on Twitter. I did watch that whole thing, and then I flipped it on for the last 30 minutes of the show. And he did a couple sketches there, but I guess I just don't know the definition of funny and athlete funny. I mean, do I think he's going to go up on stage and perform a comedy show for 2 hours? No. But like Wyatt said, do I think he could sit in my living room and we could hang out, watch football all day, and he could crack some jokes? Absolutely. So, yeah, I just think he's like one of the boys funny. I don't think he's going to make a career outside of once he's done with football in the comedy world. But I thought his monologue was pretty good. Like Wyatt said, scripted, but he did pretty well. And, yeah, I think I'd get a few laughs hanging out with him. That's for sure.
Yeah. I like your take, like the one of the boys type of funny, because that's kind of what I get too. I think he's a little more than just athlete funny, because I find Gronk just like unbearable. Like, I can't stand Gronk. I think he's so annoying. But Travis, I think he's pretty funny, and that might just be a little bias on my part as well, being a Chiefs fan. But yeah, I did watch the SNL skit. There's a couple skits that I thought were pretty funny. But once again, is that Travis being funny, or is that the writers of SNL that have been doing this for decades?
Right.
Let's get into our big three. Wyatt, let's let you go first today, man.
All right, I'm going to start off in the NHL world. The biggest game on tomorrow's slate, in my opinion, it is ESPN Hockey Night. It's the Oilers versus the Bruins. Huge matchup. The Oilers are, it seems, a pretty obvious plus 150 underdog. It seems like you're getting good value there. I'm going to stay away from that and actually completely fade that. And I'm going to take the Bruins on the puck line minus 1.5 at plus 140. If you look at their last 21 wins, 15 of those have been decided by 2 or more goals. If you're looking at the Oilers, they are very poor on the defense, very poor in net. And I'm just going to trust the Bruins goalkeeping or goaltending, and then hopefully Bruins can, throw in some pucks in net and get like a 4-2 type of victory in tomorrow's night game.
It's a nice healthy price on that one.
Yep.
For me, I'm going to go with college basketball. I'm kind of one-track mind right now, college basketball. Didn't even hardly look at the slate for hockey or NBA. My first bet I'm looking at tomorrow, I'm going to take Arkansas on the money line. They are, I believe right now, a 1-point underdog to Auburn. You can keep your point. I'll take them to win straight out. This is a revenge game for Arkansas. They lost to Auburn in the regular season. And then Arkansas lost their last 3 games heading into the conference tournament. The 2 of those were on the road. I think it was Alabama was one of them. I should look up the other one. Another tough matchup on the road for another. And then at home against Kentucky was their final game. But Kentucky blue blood, they were slow to start the season, but they really turned it on at the end. And then Auburn, on the other hand, I believe they were 4-8 to close out the year. But they did win a couple of games down the stretch. So I think just looking at, the last 4 games of the year, people are going to see Arkansas and just say, oh, this team, they have 3 straight losses. They're on the downhill slide. You just have to get Auburn to win the game. But I like Arkansas. I think they're the better defensive team, catching a point. So, yeah, I'm more of a believer in Arkansas than Auburn. I think also people are going to look at Auburn and say, oh, we've seen them here before the last couple of years. They've been a pretty good team. I don't think this year they're as good as we've seen in the past. So I think Arkansas gets that one outright.
I know Wyatt knows the answer to this one, but Ethan, do you know what TTUN stands for?
TTUN, team total under?
That team up north. We're going with Michigan. We're going with Michigan. As an Ohio State fan, I got to give you some love, man. I got to give Michigan -3 versus Rutgers. There's no way you guys get knocked out in the first round, man. You guys are moving forward. Sparty, that's going to be your guys' big game, but I see you guys. I have good vibes, good thoughts coming to you, Wyatt.
Well, I appreciate that. Maybe we'll see that for my third pick coming up there. A very similar play. I'm not sure, but we might see one come out. But I appreciate your support. I'll be rooting for the Buckeyes tonight.
They're going to need
it. We'll see. We'll see what Michigan can do. I don't know if they have it in them, but we'll see. It's definitely tricky.
Yeah.
All right, I'll move on to my second. I'm going to go back to the college basketball world, and I'm going to go back to the Big Ten. I'm going to take Penn State +3 over Illinois. Penn State, similar shoes as Michigan, similar shoes as Wisconsin. They have to win to get into this tournament. Michigan, in my opinion, has to win the outright Big Ten tournament champions. Penn State, I think, can get in with 1 or 2 wins. Same thing with Wisconsin. But I'm going to take Penn State +3 over Illinois. Illinois doesn't have a whole lot to play for. If you look at Illinois' last 3 games, they had a BS win over Michigan in overtime, then lost 2 straight. One of those was to Penn State. So I like Penn State +3. I wouldn't mind Penn State money line in this, but I'm just going to bet on the team that has more to play for than a mediocre Illinois team at best.
I like it. I like yours too, Ben. I almost added Michigan. Couldn't quite get myself to get there. Just with the way they've been closing games. It's a touchy area, but yeah, again, I'll stick with college basketball for my second pick. I'm going Baylor -4.5 against Iowa State. I do fear Baylor might be the extremely public side in this game, which makes me nervous. However, this is a double revenge game for them. They got trounced by Iowa State twice in the regular season by 25 and by 15. So now they're laying 4.5. Kind of scary, but I just think Baylor's the way better team. Iowa State kind of got to where they are being a defensive, low-scoring team, and I just think Baylor is going to be too much for them. I don't take that last game. They literally just played on Saturday where Iowa State won at Baylor by 25 points. Don't take much into account there. I think Baylor had a decent idea they were going to see Iowa State again early in the tournament. So I just think we get a more focused Baylor team, the better team overall. And with double revenge, I like Baylor here to kind of run away with this one. So I think they probably win by close to double digits. So I'll lay the 4.5.
And when you're sports betting, you're looking for any edge that you can get. And do you know what Baylor can do to get that edge, Ethan?
Drink Dubby.
They can drink some Dubby. That's right, my friend. On the same page. We want to thank our sponsors at Dubby. Dubby's not your traditional energy drink. The drinks have 0 sugar, fillers, artificial dyes, and are gluten-free. Their product is made right here in the United States. All their flavors are custom-made, featuring blue raspberry, dragon fruit, pink strawberry, Granny Smith apple, passion fruit tea, fruit punch lemon lime, mango white peach, watermelon guava lime, and strawberry banana. Use our code BIG, that's capital B-I-G, for 10% off your order and never miss a play again. Let's go Baylor Bears. Drink your Dubby. In the description of this video, you can find the website link and use the promo code BIG.
I hope every team we're betting on this week drinks their Dubby before their game.
They should. They should.
Or else it might get ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. They must
I feel like it's
if we keep winning.
It's like the Christmas story. Drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to stick with basketball right now, and I'm going to go Warriors -1.5 versus Memphis. Ja's His entire situation has fractured this team, and now they get to play the Warriors, who right now they're kind of, would you even say they're in desperation mode? I mean, they're not high up there, so right now they're playing to get as high of a seed as they can in these playoffs. And right now they're going to steal any win that they can, and you're only laying 1.5 versus Memphis. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so I have 3 plays left. Obviously, I have to choose one of them. One is a NHL one that I'm looking at it right now, and I already hate it, so that one's crossed off. The second one was to take Memphis plus 1.5.
Oh,
Might have to retract that after your statement there. We would, I guess, technically get a winner between the two of us, so that might be the record. But
yeah.
I'm just going to cross that one off. We're going to double dip, taking Michigan -3
Nice.
against Rutgers. Again, must-win situation for the Wolverines. If you actually look at them, besides how they close games, they're playing phenomenal right now. They're a 5-point dog to both Indiana and Illinois. We're up by 10 with a majority of the second half done in that game, and they just couldn't close. So I like how they're playing right now. I hate how they're playing under 4 minutes left in the second half, but I think they can compete with anyone, and I'm going to take them over Rutgers, who is pure defense, and Michigan just beat them a couple 2 weeks ago. So I like Michigan double win over Rutgers tomorrow at noon, -3, lock and load it.
They're not going to lose that game. They're winning. Let's go Blue.
I think I did you boys and mostly you, Wyatt, a favor by not giving them out, because if we tripled down on that, that could only mean bad things to come.
It turns into Tennessee Titans real quick.
Yeah, no kidding. That being said, I probably will be betting Michigan tomorrow. But I will not give them out. I'm actually going to go from the top rope here. You'd think my record lines up more with Ben and Zach, but it doesn't. I'm risking a loss here, but I'm going for it. We're getting there. This could set me back, but I'm going IU to win the Big Ten tournament plus 550. Really, really like the value on this bet. Kind of broke it down on Monday's episode, but I think IU just got a super lucky draw. They really only face potentially Northwestern or Illinois or maybe Penn State to get to the championship round. I think Northwestern's probably the only team that could give them any sort of trouble, and I think IU's just better. IU's going to be favored all the way to the championship. And then in the championship, I think they're favored against anybody other than Purdue. And I don't believe Purdue is going to make it that far. I believe it's going to be Michigan State, potentially Michigan, potentially Iowa. And I think Iowa can maybe give them some trouble, but I just think at plus 550 for a team that, to me, has just such an easy path to the championship. You're basically, to me, getting Indiana to win a single game at plus 550. So I'm going to lay that. I've already played that play. And for anyone playing, you can always cash out later or hedge if it gets to that championship game. But I just think at plus 550, way too much value for the path that they have to get there.
Ethan, you always fade your teams, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking for the value. I'll probably be on Michigan State as well. But I mean, man, IU just has such a cakewalk to get to the championship, in my opinion.
I don't blame you one bit, dude. I think that's actually a really great play. For my third pick in the Monday episode, Ethan, I felt like I disappointed you a little bit. I went pretty regular.
Off the wall.
So this week I was scrolling through looking, and I saw one like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I said, "Oh,
here I come."
Oh, would you like to take a guess of where I went with it?
Let's see here. Well, it'd be a good time to hit some more women's basketball. But I'm going to go off the wall. I'm going to say you went with a little golf.
We're going with the Academy Awards.
Oh.
That are this weekend. This is sports betting, but this is betting nonetheless. This is on DraftKings Sportsbooks. Right now, you can get Michelle Yeoh from the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. She's minus 140. And really, I don't see anybody that's even going to give her a run. I initially had the guy who played Elvis, but I was doing some research on the Academy Awards, and Brendan Fraser plays a homosexual man, and usually the Academy Awards, if someone acts like that, they usually give it to them. So that scared me off of the Elvis guy a little bit. And I love Brendan Fraser.
I have to say, man, I'm rattling my brain trying to get some feedback back for you, but I have no idea. It sounds good to me. I mean, can you let everyone know your record in these kind of off the wall sports so far? And
that would be undefeated.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've never
That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear.
Thank you. It's about to be 3-0.
Hey, and if it's not, then you can still say off the wall sports. You're 2-0 since this isn't a sport.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm hedging. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Better and Green. Wyatt, I think that you need to watch the Kelsey Saturday Night Live videos and then do a little like live reaction or something. Post on Twitter your thoughts.
I will. I'll also check out this this broad you just mentioned, and I might be throwing the units on her as well. So I'm gonna do double research on both of those individuals.
I'm just trying to win you money, man. That's all this is.
Is that award show on Sunday?
I think it's Saturday.
Okay.
So. Let's look it up.
I was gonna say that could be me chasing all my losses from conference tournament weekend.
March 12th. Oh, you're right. That is Sunday.
Sunday.
Perfect. That lines up nicely.
Michigan IU game right then and there.
Well, I gave you guys the first one to bet on Sunday. Get that line.
There you go. There you go.
So if you guys want to see those reactions from Wyatt, make sure you guys are following him at Worst Bets on Twitter. And this podcast has had Wyatt, Ethan, and me. I'm Ben. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get to see all of our episodes, shorts that we post, our podcast in video form. Make sure you're subscribed to us, listening to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast from. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Better Green. That's Better, BETTOR Green. And make sure to join our March Madness bracket on the Tournament Challenge app. Find us at Better and Green TC. The TC is for Tournament Challenge. Join our group as we're giving $50 to the champion. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, boys.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.
Welcome to Better and Green, eh? To Better and Green, eh? To Better and Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Zed, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better and Green.